So what I strongly believe is that space is an industry that is so large and so complicated that no one particular sector is going to know the whole story of what they're talking about. One thing that I really like about space law, one thing I'm very interested in as a young, still putting on his first 10 years as an attorney guy, is that so much of the law is going through what the rules are. Okay. Whereas in space, particularly in international space, it's a little bit more black and white in national regulation, obviously. I saw that you had a great conversation with Laura Montgomery, who I also consider a mentor, is incredibly knowledgeable about that sort of national regulatory piece. There's a few more answers there. But when it comes to our interaction with international parties, with other states on how we're going to treat space and how we're going to treat the moon and other celestial bodies, the question of what should we do is far more relevant than what can we do, because the list of things what can we do is incredibly wide. But what should we do? What will maintain peace? What will be for the most benefit to our nation and to other nations? These are very important pieces. And I don't think, I was just having a conversation today with somebody who's worked in the space industry with the Air Force for the last 6-7 years. And it became incredibly clear that I, as an attorney who've been studying this stuff for 8+ years with passion and love and joy and all the stuff that you get from being able to participate in something you really love, there's so much that I don't know that is happening right now. I'm required, or I should be required, to try to seek more information to be able to understand it better. You on the business side, and this is one of the things that I appreciated so much about you reaching out to me a couple months ago when you did, to begin a conversation between the two of us. You know so much about the administration, the business side of things that if I'm trying to make recommendations about what we should do, if I don't know that, if I don't have an understanding of that, I'm giving bad advice as a counselor. And that's just unacceptable. I think, so to answer your question, I think the first step that we must take in this is recognizing that no one piece of the puzzle has got the full story. As value added as the engineer is, who's been in, his or her entire career, no one person has the bandwidth to understand all of that engineering stuff and be able to handle all of the politics and the policy and the business and administration. The business side is very important for handling that administration and vital for being able to get the job done, but maybe they don't have the bandwidth to understand the second, third, and fourth tier results of those recommendations. And that's where the lawyers, the policymakers, the politicers can step in and really add value. So that's why, so my personal philosophy is anytime I think I'm coming close to forming a conclusion, this is what I think we should be doing in space. This is what I think that rocket launch companies should be doing. This is what I think the Air Force should be doing. This is what I think the United States should be doing. Any of these types of decisions, I always try to restart it with, okay, what is the question that I can ask to those that I'm connected with, to those who I interact with, that can help me understand why I might be wrong? And kind of going back to what we were talking about before, I've been incredibly blessed and humbled many times to discover, I often am wrong. Or at the very least, I'm right, but maybe I understand why I might be right for better reasons than I had previously, because I had not taken all of these steps into consideration. So that open dialogue that I think is very important for many different organizations, both on the business and the government side, I think is incredibly vital. And anytime I see that happening, whether it be with conferences, whether it be calls for proposals, anything else, I applaud all of those efforts, because I think that is exactly what we need. The only thing that's left untested for a lot of these are, okay, are we actually listening, or is this just a way of us showing that we're listening?
Right. As long as we're not all shouting at each other. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
It's,
it's so easy to get into that.
More engineers are not going to solve your problem. It's not a technical problem in that sense. It's a process problem. And the time to fix your processes was 20 months ago. And the second best time is today. This is Jason Kanigan, the president of Cold Star Technologies and the host of this podcast, the Cold Star Project, which is all about identifying and solving process problems for space companies, because that's what we do. And you can hear the entirety of this episode by following the link in the comment below.